After Kristallnacht had allowed 10,000 children, but not their parents, to escape Nazism in what was called the Kindertransport. In February 1939, Democratic Senator Robert Wagner of New York and Republican Congresswoman Edith Norse Rogers of Massachusetts introduced a new bill.
The bill says let's let in 10,000 kids between the age of 5 and 14 per year, 1939 and 1940, and let's not count them against the immigration quota system.
The First Lady backed the bill. Her husband privately offered advice on how it might be passed, but said nothing in public. But the American Legion, the Daughters of the American Revolution, and the American Coalition of Patriotic Societies were all opposed. They had favored some of the 60 bills that had recently been introduced to reduce immigration quotas.
It's a xenophobic refusal. I can't explain it because it seems so cruel to me, especially given a country as big as the United States with plenty of space. I do understand it in terms of anti-Semitism. I don't want to understand that anti-Semitism could be so deep and so cruel.
If I know the American public who fought the League of Nations propagandists.
Father Coughlin called for the creation of a national Christian front to combat the influence of what he called communistic Jews, and claimed to his vast radio audience that Jewish businessmen were firing their Christian employees to make room for Jewish refugees.
There is still the United States Senate with whom these forces must contend.
The restrictionists, people who want to restrict immigration, the isolationists, the anti-Semites come out of the woodwork.
All right, Linda, back to Jim Jam.
Big thanks to everybody. I was at the San Jose Improv, which is, I got to say, the prettiest improv of all the improvs. I don't think any other improv comes close. The Tampa Improv is very nice also. They're all nice, but this is the nicest one. And I just want to say this is the end of the show. And I love them, and I love you too, San Jose. Thank you for coming out. Thank you so much. I love you. See you. So I got to turn it off because there's some copywritten music coming. But there, look how pretty that place is. Jam-packed, balcony, 500 seats.
Nice,
that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
How nice it is. I like when people stand up at the end of the show. It makes me feel good.
I know.
Thank you for doing that.
Posting it.
Thank you. Very nice. Look at that. It's got 600,000 views already. Look at that. So anyway, I just want to say thanks to everybody. Nice. Oh, can I show you this real fast? So this is the new president of Syria. Now, what did we say at the Jimmy Dore show starting probably in 2017? And CNN smeared us for it. That if you overthrow Assad in Syria, guess who's going to take over? Guess who the United States was funding? It was a program called Timber Sycamore. You can look it up. It's in Wikipedia. It was Barack Obama ordered the CIA to do a dirty war. They get over $2 billion just there to overthrow Assad. And I said, you know, if you overthrow Assad, you know who's going to take over? Al-Qaeda.
Hey,
because that's who we were actually working with, not against Al-Qaeda. So go ahead. What do you want to say, Kurt?
Well, anybody out there that lost an arm or a leg fighting Al-Qaeda, take a sweet gander at this.
And so here he is. So here's the new. So now he doesn't wear his terrorist garb anymore. He wears a suit. So now he changed his name. He used to be Jolani. Now I forget his new name. He's getting a fresh start. So now here he is being welcomed at the UK. So Richard tweets out, says, so this is what Western values looks like, shaking hands with a man who, not long ago, was one of the CIA's most wanted lists. He was on the most wanted. There was like a $10 million reward if you turn this guy in. And now look what's happening now. There he is. He's in a suit. Oh, look, he's getting Macron. Look at that. Look at that. That's the head of Al-Qaeda.
Hey, is it true your wife is a dude?
No, that's the head of Al-Qaeda meeting with the head of France.
No. Here's what we want to know at Al-Qaeda. Does your wife have a wiener?
That's what Western values look like.
Is this the hand that touched your wife's wiener? Because I will not shake it by Allah.
That's what Western values look like. So now he doesn't wear his terrorist costume anymore. Now he's
He could
got
be in the UFC.
now he's got a nice clean cut haircut, and he put on a blue suit. Probably
like
from
an MMA
Hugo,
guy.
probably made by Hugo Boss, who used to make the uniforms for the Nazis. I'm gonna guess that's a Hugo Boss. I bet they're both wearing Hugo Boss.
Look, we all admit that's the best part of the Nazis was the uniforms.
The uniforms.
Nothing else. The Hugo Boss uniforms, everybody agreed were pretty well tailored.
That's what Western values look like.
Like a Nazi uniform on an Al-Qaeda terrorist.
So fantastic. So again, Tulsi Gabbard was right about Syria. She was smeared, slandered from here to kingdom come, along with me. And people had to lie about me, and they lied about her. They said, oh, she doesn't support universal health care. She certainly did. She didn't support Bernie Sanders' plan. She had her own plan.
Turns out Bernie didn't support his own plan either.
Turns out Bernie didn't support universal health care.
Turned out Bernie was kind of a fraud the whole time.
Yeah, Bernie was a fraud.
Like AOC and the rest of the squad and every one of them.
So there it is. That's what Western values looks like. Shaking hands with the guy who just 5 seconds ago the CIA had on their most wanted list, but now he's running Syria at the behest of who? At the behest of the CIA, Turkey, and Israel, and probably Qatar.
Wait, did you read the poster? Remember, it was most wanted to wear this sweet Hugo Boss suit.
So that's what Western values looks like, just in case you didn't know.
I want a T-shirt of it.
Here's one more thing I wanted to show you. Here is an IDF soldier admitting that I killed a boy. Now we just laugh about it. Israeli society turns people into sociopaths so they can execute children without empathy. You want to hear it?
She must do Sam Harris meditations.
She must. Breathe in. Yeah, Tim Dillon just did this.
I texted him the old story from when we had that Buddhist guy, because I think at that point you didn't know Buddhism was also violent like all the others. That's what Buddhism was for, so you could remain calm.
Oh, right. You remember that?
Yeah, right.
He would teach the IDF soldiers how to meditate and remain calm when they were shooting someone in the head.
Not waste ammo.
Don't waste ammo.
Yeah.
So let's hear what this IDF soldier. She looks nice. Let's hear what she says. I say I killed a boy. This is from an Israeli documentary film, To See If I'm Smiling. This is from 2007. This is on YouTube already. I don't even say the army. Only that. See, look at her smiling. This is weird. Do you think about it? Do you think about that you killed a boy?
That's a mask.
It's hard to think about it now.
Yeah.
At the time, I would think about it a lot. Now we just laugh about it. As much as one can. Now it's just there like a part of me. I killed a boy.
I don't think
she
she's
means
laughing.
a child.
I think that's somebody
That's
traumatized.
what she means, a child.
Look at that
Hang
stare.
on, Kurt, we have your mic low because of this. I would go home on leave, and I would call my girlfriend in the army. Sivan, it's not coming off. What won't come off? You don't understand. I keep trying with soap. What won't come off? The blood off my hands. And look, she's laughing. I have blood on my hands. I don't know what to do. Whoa!
She's not laughing. She's not laughing about it. That's somebody that's traumatized by what they did. That's a complete mask. It looks like watching young kids in gangs. That's what it looked like to me. She goes, I can't wash the blood off my hands. She's not laughing. She's laughing because she killed someone, and that's a trauma. It's brutal what they do. Everybody's drafted. That's why they had to do the Buddhist meditation. That girl is traumatized. That laugh is not the laugh of someone that is enjoying themselves. It is not.
Well, she said she's telling the story as she's laughing. It's incongruent that she's telling a story about telling her girlfriend, I can't wash the blood off my hands, as she's laughing about it. Because
but you could see what's behind that immediately.
Yeah.
They force people into the IDF. That's not good for anybody there. And I do not take that laugh as a genuine laugh at all. I don't think a dime store psychologist could see that was a mask for the deep pain of killing a boy because that's a young girl. Anybody could see that unless they don't want to see it. I could see it immediately. 1,000-yard stare. What do you think our troops do when they come home? Not that? A cynical laugh after what they just did for the country? That's what all the soldiers do. They're in pain because it's unnatural to make people do that.
And that's why the suicide rate is so high with the veterans. I saw a guy talking about his troop in Afghanistan. 3 of them got killed in Afghanistan and 17 committed suicide when they came home.
Yeah, that's suicide voice that girl has, but hopefully the Zionist programming is strong enough to not take your own life because they can't lose population.
Wow.
We think military is you take kids and you make them killers. And then the people that were their enemy that maimed them go on to rule Syria and shake hands with Macron. That's how that works.
That's how that works. It's a sicker world than you could think. The world is sicker than you think. And our country is, they call it late stage capitalism. And what they mean is that the whole country, I've been saying this now for years, that the country isn't a little corrupt. It's 100% corrupt. Meaning that right now, you can't fly into Newark Airport because they don't have enough air traffic controllers. They had to cancel thousands of flights. It's not safe to fly in there right now. Did you know this? Did you hear about this, Kurt? Yeah. So 20% of the air traffic controllers walked off the job. It's not some kind of work stoppage or some union movement. They all, you know what they did? They claimed trauma because a month ago, all their screens went blank. And for 90 seconds, and they didn't know where any of the planes were that they were talking to. They didn't know what was going on. And they were all so traumatized by this that they're now, just because there's a clause in their contract saying if you are physically or emotionally traumatized, you can take time off. And so 20% of the air traffic controllers that handled Newark Airport have walked off the job claiming trauma. And why did that happen? Because we're using equipment that is way out of date. In fact, it was a copper wire burned. We're using copper wire, not fiber optics. That's how old this is. Russell Dobular talks about how the switches for the subway in New York City are 100 years old. So this is how all empires end. We're not investing in our own country. Like when we had those deals with China, right? So we outsourced all our jobs to China, and China sent us cheap goods. And both sides made a lot of money. China said that. Well, both sides made a lot of money, which we did. A lot of money was made in China. A lot of money was made in the United States. The difference is in China, they put that money into their infrastructure. And now their country looks like it's in the 23rd century. In our country, we don't have high-speed rail. We were using 100-year-old switchers for our subway. We don't have infrastructure. Our roads are crumbling, and our air travel is not safe. The second busiest airport in New York City has basically shut down because we didn't. By the way, Doge they didn't fire air traffic controllers, but they fired the maintenance crew, the technical, that would fix the machines if you're not going to replace the machines with up-to-date machines for air traffic control, you can't fire, well, you can. They did. They fired the people who were supposed to keep those old machines running. And so then those old machines broke down, created trauma in 20%. So this is what's called, when I talk
Jimmy,
about...
don't forget, the people that didn't want to take the jab, that had worked there for years, that knew how to work the old machines
they had to
in the
get
air
fired.
traffic control.
That's right.
They all got fired. Much reason the police suck here now. All the qualified people got run out and replaced
with firemen.
Yep.
Yeah.
With idiots. Like patronage, like mafia jobs where you put the guy who can't speak English in charge of like water. That's what they did. And then those people doing maintenance, those aren't the new Zoomer employees because they know how to fix things.
So I don't know how I get off on this. Because we're so corrupt. Our whole Western world is corrupt.
Yeah, I call it Western civilization, not that's what the problem. Western civilization. We're always supposed. Remember how Sam Harris and Bill Maher would talk about how we're better than them? Our society's better. Our society's crumbling. And it's exactly how Karl Marx predicted. Karl Marx didn't have a prescription on how to fix capitalism. People get that wrong. Karl Marx, all he did was outline and describe what's wrong with capitalism. And he said, capitalism eats itself
and it becomes correct. And that's exactly what's happened. So we have like 3 companies that own everything. It's very close to what communism is. It's almost the exact same thing. You have the illusion of choice. You don't have competition anymore. You have 3 companies that own everything. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. They own everything.
I'm sure
Right now, you know why we don't have fire trucks in not only California, but in like places like Atlanta and Philadelphia? It's because places like BlackRock and Vanguard have bought up the manufacturing of fire trucks. So now we don't have enough fire trucks. So we're not investing in our own country. That's what I'm talking about, how our own country, it's called end stage capitalism. And this is it. Marx predicted it. It eats itself. And so what you do is you loot. They're looting instead of investing. China is investing. The communists are actually investing in their country. They have health care. They have high-speed rail. They have beautiful cities. Their cops don't even carry guns, do they? You were there, Kurt. Do their cops carry guns in China? I don't think so.
No one respects their cops at all. I mean, theirs is kind of an extreme where their cops are like, literally, we ran away 1 block, and they're not coming to get you.
Yeah, but they have...
You have to worry about the Ministry of something, Interior or something. They got Uzis, those guys, but they don't come unless you really piss them off. So
that's what when I say, you know, I'm all for capitalism and I'm all for competition. I'm also for strong unions. And not that doesn't mean unions don't have problems, but you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know,
if you're not throwing capitalism out just because it's
we don't throw capitalism out because it forces us to take
power.
Because it forces to take emergency mandated experimental medical treatments. That's what capitalism did. And now the capitalists own the government. When they go to have a meeting in Congress, when they have a session in Congress, they're not doing the biddings of students or workers or average citizens or the elderly or the retired or any. They're doing the bidding of the capitalists, the 3 companies that own everybody. And that's why everything's screwed up. That's why half the country can't afford a $500 emergency. That's why people go bankrupt when they get sick. That's why they had to shut down the 2nd biggest airport in the country, in New York. The 2nd biggest airport in New York. Because we're not investing.
Hey, here's an idea. What if, with precious, sacred, nothing better than it, capitalism, you just do something to keep it from degenerating into a private equity free-for-all.
That's what
where
this
they take
is.
Everything.
That's exactly.
Is there any way to stop it, or do you just have to let that happen?
No,
because if you let it happen, that's what Marx said would happen.
That's exactly what Marx said would happen is happening. And we're hollowing out. We've already hollowed out the middle class. We've exported all our jobs, but we didn't take any of that money we made doing that and invested in our country. China did. The communists.
The ones with the flying cars now.
The ones with the flying cars. And I know this is hard.
About freedom?
I know
they're going to let Chinese people drive flying cars. Talk about crazy freedom.
The idea that we're the greatest country in the world. No, we spend the most on our military. We're not the greatest country in the world. Our people go bankrupt when they get sick. Our people go bankrupt when they have to go get educated. There are mountains of debt. People can't afford, Generation Z can't afford houses.
We lose every war.
We lost every war in my lifetime.
How about the debt that they're building on college students? Right? How much debt are college students?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Forever.
When you go get educated, you're saddled with debt for the rest of your life.
Because the military wants there to be a lot of inspiration to join the military.
That's right.
We covered that. They go, please do not forgive student debt. We need that as an incentive because we're not making our quotas.
That's right.
Go kill yourself in a Ukraine-esque debacle.
Okay, over to Steph.
All right. Here we go. This says, unvaccinated guy, good to hear from you. Kerp ain't a cow. He don't sleep standing. He sleeps perpendicularly. All right, unvaccinated guy.
Perpendicular to the...
Perpendicularly.
It's almost good.
I thought you might like it.
Might polish it a little.
Unvaccinated guy, you're back. Red Suvine wrote a song about Baby Kerp. It's called Teddy Bear. Check out the song Teddy Bear by Red Suvine. He wrote about Baby Kerp.
I'm never going to look at that.
Red Suvi.
I don't like the sound of any part of that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I know, right? I just walked around the inside of Columbia Mall, MD. I said aloud, there are more people working here than shopping here. The mall cop called the authorities on me. I called him a stupid fuck. Savage. I don't know. I don't know why the cop would what were you doing that the cop got involved? Okay, so I'm going to read this unvaccinated guy. Don't make me regret it. Kurt has been rounded up and taken back to Plum Island. The fusing of a polar bear and a Captain Spaulding government hybrid, a.k.a. the Austin serial, Cereal.
It's too long. It's just too
killer.
long.
All right, unvaccinated guy, thank you. All right, so this is... Okay, unvaccinated guy, you're back. Okay. Douglas Murphy asked Kurt if he has ever been. Kurt asked Murphy, he has been peened. Then Kurt clapped. Okay. What the fuck is wrong with you, unvaccinated guy? Why does it always, it has to go in some weird crevice. Okay, here we go. James Curran, Casey means Surgeon General. Evan Starr says, Jimmy, keep calling balls and strikes, Jimmy. It's why we love you. Evan Starr. I prefer to be true to myself, even at the hazard of incurring the ridicule of others, rather than to be false and to incur my own abhorrence. Frederick Douglass. Nice quote, Kits. Bobby of Atlantis is now a monthly supporter. Welcome, Bobby. Kinky. I thought this was important. Trump said he's seen the JFK files too and didn't release them in his first term because if you saw them, you wouldn't release them either, right?
Right, because it was 80,000 pages, I guess, and who wants to read that? No, it feels like we got a little shortchanged.
When Trump said he wanted to annex Canada, he posted a pic of Swiss Matterhorn. Trump's IQ is lower than 70. I don't know if it's lower than, it's just not.
Is it lower than 70? Well, that's really bad because he outsmarted everybody in government.
Right.
Like if his IQ 70, that's like, I knew the news was bad. I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah. Thank you, Savage. Look, Jimmy, we don't prosecute past crimes according to Obama. FSO. Roberto, the congressman is an OP because the Epstein files are used to be our corporate overlords to blackmail and control our politicians and government officials, not vice versa.
Okay.
Back to Jim.